So hello and good morning to everyone. My name is Alok Sharma. You are watching Ficon classes. Let's hit the concepts. So in the previous lecture, we started integral calculus. In that we discussed about the indefinite kind of integral. Now in this lecture, we will be taking definite integral. As well as there was one point that I left in differentiation, that is velocity concept in differentiation. So that thing also we will discuss in very short, and that will be all for today's lecture. And by this lecture we are just completing our basic mathematics part, and after that we will be starting kinematics hopefully soon. So please do like the channel, please do subscribe it, and if you have not hit the bell icon, please hit the bell icon so that you can get the notification at the earliest whenever I am uploading my new video. Okay, and please do share with your friends. Okay, so let's get started.
Okay, so let us solve this problem that I gave you as a homework. So the question here says, not this one, this question we are going to solve. The question is integration of 2x divided by x square plus 1 dx. So we have to integrate. This is what kind of integration? This is indefinite integration. Because why indefinite integration? Because limits are not given. Right? Now in such cases, what we can do here is x square plus 1, we can assume it as, let's suppose, u. So if you are taking this as u, now derivate both the sides. So when you are derivating this x square plus 1, this will be 2x dx. Then derivation of 1 will be 0 because it's a constant. Derivation of u will be du. Correct? Now see, 2x dx become equals to du. Now we are going to use this and this both in the given equation. So integration of, in place of 2x dx, what we can write? We can write du divided by, in place of x square plus u, we can write u. So du by u, that means it is actually u to the power of minus 1 du. Integration of this one. This we have to find out. So if you remember the formula, 1 by u, the integration of 1 by x is ln x. So here it will be ln u. Plus we know that there is no limits are not given, and because of that we need to add a constant here. Fine. So this will be ln, and now keep the value of u again back. It will be equals to x square plus 1 plus c. Understand? So this is our answer. Clear? Clear? Okay. Integral. See, definite integral is the type of integral in which we have limits. Then integration, we know that the limit is going to be from some point A to point B for some function f of x dx. Let's suppose the integration value is f of x. Now see, if there would not be this limit ab, in that case this integration value along with constant, that will be the answer, right? But here we do have the limit, and hence constant will be removed, but with the answer we need to write a b. And now what we have to do is, after that we will have to do this thing, and we have to put the value of x. So it is starting from A ending at B. So we need to find out the difference. So difference is going to be functional value at B minus functional value at A. So this final answer is going to be functional value at B minus functional value at A. So this is our answer. Final. Now let us understand this thing with an example. Just write it down because I am going to rub it out. Write down fast. Done? Okay. So I am just rubbing it off. Done? Okay. Now let us take an example. So here I am writing an example. Let's suppose we need to find out integration of sin x plus cos x dx, and the limits are from 0 to pi by 2. What is pi by 2? Pi by 2 is 90 degree, right? So this 0 to pi by 2 limit is the limit of x. That x is varying from 0 degree angle to pi by 2 degree angle. Now what we have to do, just do the integration in normal way without adding the constant and give the limits. That is the answer. That is the way. Okay. So for this, see, this is going to be integration of sin x dx from 0 to pi by 2 plus integration of cos x dx from 0 to pi by 2. Correct? Now see here, this integration of sin x. What is the integration of sin x? Can you tell me? Integration of sin x is minus of cos x, and the limit will be from 0 to pi by 2, plus integration of cos x is sin x. Cos x is sin x, limit is 0 to pi by 2. Now what we have to do, we have to apply this formula that now we have to put the value of x. X will be from 0 to pi by 2. So the final value minus initial value, that is the difference. So it will be equals to cos pi by 2 minus cos 0. Understand? Plus similarly here it will be sin pi by 2 minus sin 0. Understand? Now this minus sign is here outside. What is cos pi by 2 value? Cos pi by 2 is 0. Correct or not? What is cos 0? Cos 0 value, tell me. Cos 0 is 1. So here it will be 1 plus sin pi by 2. Sin 90 value is 1 minus sin 0 is 0. Fine. Now this minus sign, when it is moving inside, so it will be 0 will not be there. Minus into minus is plus 1 plus, then this side it is again plus 1. So plus 1 is going to be plus 2. So this is our answer. Here there is no constant term. Final answer in terms of number we are getting here. Understand? So this is one of the example using the definite using the limits, where we have the limits, that is called as definite integral. So in definite integral, what we have to do, you have to just integrate normally and then put the limits. Then when we are removing this limit, what we have to do, final limit minus initial limit. That is the way of solving. Okay, fine. Okay, so let us solve one more problem based on definite integral. So the problem is like this: integration of x to the power 3 by 2 plus 2e to the power x dx, and the limit is varying from 0 to 1. Fine. Now in this case, what we have to do, just integrate. So integrate x to the power 3 by 2. Integration is going to be x to the power 3 by 2 plus 1 divided by 3 by 2 plus 1. Right? X to the power of 3 by 2 plus 1. Sorry. Why this is not working? So this, and the limit will be from 0 to 1 plus 2 e to the power x. Integration is e to the power x only, 2 into 2 e to the power x, and the limit from 0 to 1. Clear? Now what? 3 by 2 plus 1 is, this 2 will be common, then 3 plus 2, that is 5 by 2. Right? How to solve this? Do you know this? How to solve this? 5 by 2. So that will be x to the power 5 by 2 divided by 5 and multiplied with 2. And the limits are going to be from 0 to 1 plus, now here we can put the limits, keep the constant outside, e to the power 1 minus e to the power 0. Right? Now this side, put the limits 2 by 5, you can take it outside, and then x value 1 to the power 5 by 2 minus 0 to the power 5 by 2 plus, see now here e to the power 0 is 1. So 2 into e minus 1, this will be there. Then final answer is going to be 2 by 5, 2 by 5, then 1 minus 0, 1 minus 0 plus 2 e minus 1. So that is going to be 2 by 5 plus 2e minus 2. Clear? Now you can solve this thing also and move forward, no problem. So up to this also, this can be the answer. Okay, no problem. Clear? Now just take some questions as your homework. I'm just giving you some question. Write down question. Integration 1 to 5, 3 plus 2t, 3 plus 2t and dt. This is your question number 1. Then question number 2. Question number 2 is 2 sin x minus cos x. Integration 2 sin x minus cos x dx. I don't think this will be visible to you. I'll write it somewhere else. Here I'm writing. Question number 2 is 2 sin x minus cos x. Integration 2 sin x minus cos x dx. And the limits are from pi by 4 to pi by 2. Pi by 4 to pi by 2. Clear? I'll just give you the answers also here. I'm giving you the answers also. After solving, you can check it. Okay. So here the answer is 36. This is the answer. And here the answer is 3 divided by root 2 minus 1. So you can solve at home and you can check your answers. Okay. So this one topic we were left with, that is the velocity concept in differentiation. So what is the velocity concept here is, see, how do we define velocity? Velocity is the change in position divided by change in time, right? Or displacement divided by time. Displacement can be given as change in position. We have studied this thing, right? Change in position, r2 minus r1. This is given as r2 vector minus r1 vector, right? r2 minus r1 vector. R is the position vector and 2 and 1 represents at point 2 and at point 1. Clear? Now, if a body is moving from point 2 to point 1, or sorry, point 1 to point 2, then the displacement vector is given by r2 minus r1. So that displacement vector divided by time is going to give you what? Velocity vector. So if this is vector, then displacement is also vector. Clear? Now see how to write a position vector. Position vector is x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap, right? So if I want to derivate this thing with respect to time, so this is going to be dr divided by dt, and that will be equals to dx divided by dt I cap plus dy divided by dt j cap plus dz divided by dt k cap, right? Now dx by dt is nothing but the velocity in x direction with I cap. Velocity in x direction. Similarly, dy by dt is velocity in y direction multiplied with j cap plus then dz by dt is velocity in z direction multiplied with k cap. Now this is total velocity, net velocity. Clear? Now see, this is our formula now here, that velocity can be written as the in the term of component of velocity in x, y and z direction. Now if you want to find out the magnitude of velocity, then magnitude of velocity formula is going to be what? Vx square plus Vy square plus Vz square. Now see, the important thing that I need to discuss here is, through this formula, these two formulas and this formula, we got to know that if you have a displacement vector, in x, y and z format, then if you derive x with respect to time, you will get the velocity in x direction. If you derive not x, if you derive the coefficient with I, then you will get the the velocity in x direction. If you derive the coefficient with j, you will get the velocity in y direction. If you derive coefficient with k, then you are going to get velocity in z direction. So you will get this particular format. After finding vx, vy, vz, you can write this format, right? After finding this format, you can find out the magnitude of velocity easily under the root of vx square plus vy square plus vz square. So this was a small concept that I wanted to discuss. So we are done with this. Now similarly we can write for acceleration also. So acceleration is what? Acceleration is change in velocity by change in time. Do you remember? So similarly, A will be this acceleration, you can write as ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. Exactly what we have done for velocity, the same thing we can write with acceleration also. Mod of acceleration, how we can write? Mod of acceleration will be under the root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. Understand? And dv by dt. So in place of dr by dt, you can write dv by dt. dv by dt. So what is dv by dt? Nothing but acceleration. So that will be equals to dv in x direction divided by dt I cap and so on. dvy by dt in j direction divided j direction plus dvz by dt k cap in k direction. So similarly we can write. Okay. So this was a small concept that I wanted to discuss. If any kind of question is coming from this, that is r is equals to something I cap plus something j cap plus something k cap, then you can follow this formula. So step by step you can follow and you can get the answer. Okay. Okay.